Srivastava is one of them. Anytime he would meet, it's like, at least I think this is the pastor he quotes the most. Yamdutas.
Yamdutas coming.
And one devotee from Russia, he was like a person who would do all sort of nonsense. All sort of sinful activities he was involved. And then he went to Yamlok. He died.
He died and came back.
And then he came in front of Yamraj. And Yamdutas were telling, this fellow had done this, that. Yamraj said, at least one thing, some good thing you've done in your life. Then he tried to remember. He said, yes. Whenever these Hare Krishnas would go and chant, I won't chant Hare Krishna, but I would wave my hand. Hey, good guys. So then, this one thing, good thing I will do. Yamraj said, if I leave you, what will you do? Then he thought, I'll become Hare Krishna. Yamraj said, okay. And he came and became a brahmachari. So we have two pastimes in this Islam also. So we don't go into it. A lot of pastimes like that. Lot of pastimes of Yamraj. At least I immediately remember 5-6 pastimes. Mandasya mandapasya vayo mandayusachave nidraya hriyate naktam divacha vyartha karmabhi. There are a lot of similar words. Nidra hriyate aktam loyan chavavaya divacha atahaya vayam rajan kutumba parintinva. Second line. So many verses like that, similar verses. Please read translation.
Lazy human beings with paltry intelligence and a short duration of life pass the night sleeping and day performing activities that are for naught.
Not no use of entangled.
What is paltry intelligence?
Okay, paltry intelligence. Paltry means they are not very intelligent. More than a half man, half brain.
The less intelligent do not know the real value of human form of life. The human form is a special gift of material nature in the course of our enforcing stringent law of miseries upon the living being. It is a chance to achieve the highest boon of life, namely to get out of the entanglement of repeated birth and death. The intelligent take care of this important gift by strenuously endeavoring to get out of the entanglement. But the less intelligent are lazy and unable to evaluate the gift of the human body to achieve liberation from the material bondage. They become more interested in so-called economic development and work very hard throughout life simply for the sense enjoyment of the temporary body. Sense enjoyment is also allowed to the lower animals by the law of nature. And thus a human being is also destined to a certain amount of sense enjoyment according to his past or present life. But one should definitely try to understand that sense enjoyment is not the ultimate goal of human life. Herein it is said that during the daytime one works for nothing because the aim is nothing but sense enjoyment. We can particularly observe how the human being is engaged for nothing in great cities and industrial towns. There are so many things manufactured by human energy, but they are all made for sense enjoyment and not for getting out of material bondage. And after working hard during the daytime, a tired man either sleeps or engages in sex habits at night. That is the program of materialistic civilized life for the less intelligent. Therefore, they are designated herein as lazy, unfortunate, and short-lived.
Yeah. So if you see that the entire civilization is just meant for sense gratification. For small amount of sense gratification, people spend their entire life and entire intelligence. Like so many people were involved for increasing the internet speed from 4G to 5G. Right? So many PhDs. So many people do PhDs. One of our devotees was he was a part of that team. Those who improved from 4G to 5G. Some Stanford or somewhere. So they really worked very, very hard. One of our devotees, his PhD was on increasing the life duration of a bubble, soap bubble. Increasing the life duration of a soap bubble. That was his PhD. So that when wealthy people, they put a soap, they can get the sensation of soap bubble for a longer time. It doesn't burst in between, it goes from head, slowly touches your belly, thighs, legs, and then it goes down. So it gives a better sensation. So entire lifetime of a study meant to increase the life duration of a soap bubble. So looks like very fascinating, but entire civilization is just meant to develop or increase even a little bit amount of sense gratification. One of my seniors in IIT Kharagpur, his research paper was to make some electrical machine which tests whether the fish is fresh or not. And then later on he said, no, I can't do this at least. No, my whole I worked so hard. And IIT JEE, especially in those days, was toughest exam of the world. So you cracked that exam for what? Just to test whether the fish is fresh or not. Even a dog can do that. Dog can smell and tell whether the fish is fresh or not. And you make a whole machine, the entire intelligence you have, to just test whether the fish is fresh or not. Similarly, I was also doing some research paper on, they were called Coda waves in seismology. So then I wanted to really know what is the usage of this particular research. Could that determine the amount of destruction which will happen whenever there is an earthquake? So then I asked my guide, earthquake is there, any earthquake will destroy. What is the benefit of destroying or estimating how much destruction it will be there? Destruction is there, you can't stop the destruction. So what he told the practical application, he said it will be helpful for insurance companies. When insurance companies come, they get to know the amount of destruction. They can determine the multiplication factor. Here there is more chance of destruction, so we will have lesser insurance. There is lesser chance of destruction, then we will have more amount of insurance. So that is used for insurance company. That gave away, I gave away all my enthusiasm to publish the paper. I dropped the paper and ran away. So sometimes a little bit of science gratification, whole civilization is working so hard, so hard.
Motivation, how do people get to do such things?
Of course, most of the people, they are not worried about, they are more worried about the money they get, so that they can enjoy the gross sense gratification. Very few people are so much keen about the research. It's like now we are doing something new. It's like you get award for anything, people are fascinated. You get award for anything, you get fame for anything. Like now if you start giving fame for how nicely you clean the floor, then many people would come out and they would clean the floor. Of course, there is some intellectual satisfaction also. And now, what did Maharaj Parikshit do to conquer the effects of the king? Is it 10th and 11th?
Sutta Goswami said, while Maharaj Parikshit was residing in the capital of the Kuru Empire, the symptoms of the age of Kali began to infiltrate within the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter very palatable, This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities.
And next one was
Marsh Parikshit sat on a chariot drawn by black horses. His flag was marked with the sign of a lion. Being so decorated and surrounded by charioteers, cavalry, elephants, and infantry soldiers, he left the capital to conquer in all directions.
So when he saw that symptoms of age of Kali are visible, he wanted to make sure that Kali doesn't enter. And that is why he went all over the Bhumandal and he conquered all the directions. To make sure that nowhere the regulative principles are broken or nowhere Kali should have any possibility to enter inside. That is why many times solutions are more spiritual than material. Like when Prabhupada was asked that can you do something to make the situation of hippies better? So Prabhupada said, give us money, we will do Sankirtan everywhere. We will do Sankirtan, we will distribute prasadam, and that is how people's consciousness would be raised, and then automatically the crime would go down. Somehow it didn't appeal to that official, government official. Because people many times don't understand that most of the things are achieved by knowledge, by raising the consciousness of people. So Brahmanas would give the knowledge and culture by which people would raise their consciousness. And as soon as the consciousness is raised, automatically crime goes down. And something which can't be conquered by Brahmanas has to be conquered by the Kshatriyas. That is why you find in the Vedic age, even during the British period, there was one city which is like next to Jhansi, a place called Orcha. Orcha is a place where Ram Janmabhoomi deities are there. So like we say, Mayapur and Vrindavan are non-different. According to the devotees of Lord Ram, Ayodhya and Orcha are non-different. So they say Lord Ram rules in the daytime in Ayodhya and nighttime in Orcha. So even during the British period, nobody would lock their rooms in Orcha.
Is that Orissa?
Orcha.
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 Where is that?
The name of a city.
But where is it?
It is South UP, Central India. So it is comes in MP, but it's next to Jhansi.
Jhansi?
Yeah, Jhansi.
Okay.
So because I am from Jhansi, so I would go regularly there. League of Devotees was just in front of the place where I would stay. I didn't know at that time till I became a devotee.
Till now it's going on now.
No, it is not going on, but place is still there like that. Mahila Committee Samiti is still going on. Which drew away Prabhupada, they are still there. So the point is that even such places where people want to lock their rooms. And the reason is that when people are satisfied, they have a higher consciousness, there's no question of committing crime. Only when people have very low consciousness, they commit crime. So Brahmana's work is to do the work of spreading knowledge. And when people's consciousness is high, automatically the crime is curbed. Now something which can't be accomplished by Shastra are accomplished by Shastra, by weapons. Then Kshatriyas come into picture. So one of our sannyasis was going in a plane and he met Menaka Gandhi, who was like an environmental minister at that time. So then she asked the sannyasi, what are you doing for the environment? So he said, we clean the environment inside, you clean the environment outside. But when the environment inside is cleaned, environment outside is automatically cleaned. So that is how the work of Brahmana is to clean the environment within. And then automatically outside the environment is cleansed. Please read 12 to 15.
Maharaja Parikshit then conquer all part of the earthly planet. But Trasva, Kutumala, Bharata, the northern Guru Kimprusa, etc., and exerted tributes from their respective ruler. They did. Wherever the king visited, the continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers, who were all devotees of the Lord, and also of the glorious act of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself had been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat of the weapon of Aswatma. People also mentions the great affections between the descendants of Vrishni and Prata, due to the latter's great devotions to the Lord Kesava. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes and great satisfactions. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased toward them very valuable snackers and clothes.
So from text 12 we can understand Maharaj Parikshit was not the ruler of earth alone. All these places like Bhadrasva, Ketumal, Kimpursa, so they all are actually Bhusargas. We will read in Canto 5. So they are Bhusargas, these are Swarglokas, they are not like just earthly planet. So he had the rule over the entire Bhumandal plane, not on earth alone. So such a powerful personality.
To access to those subtle places, do we need pious activities like
Yes,
March?
Yes,
And then we will see the world differently.
yes. So those who have those pious activities can go there. And now I don't, because these things are not like, when you read fifth canto you will find that beyond Himalayas there is Kimpursa also. There are people who are like human monkeys. So we don't have any proof, but what I heard from stories of many mountaineers from my childhood, that many people who got lost in Himalayas. So they were nursed and cured by, taken care by these people who are like human monkeys. So there's no proof for it, and that is the reason. But at least I was able to relate with them. I heard at least 15-20 stories like that.
And then they came back.
And they came back. They were taking a nurse and they left them here. So they came back. So at least that gives me a bit of confidence that whatever philosophy, at least modernist we got now of fifth canto, seems to be right. So it looks like that. It looks as if after Himalayas we go into a different dimension. So he was having rule over all those places. He was so pious. Of course, he is a devotee.
This is on Earth planet only, right? Kimpurusha was.
They are in Bhumandal.
No, this north of Himalaya.
No.
Oh,
It's not China. It's not China.
Oh, sure.
People of China come in the category of Huna. Kirat, Huna, they put in the places of Huna.
Khasa.
Khasa, sorry. Khasa, yes.
But this Himalaya is going out of the earth.
You go to a different dimension. You can access a different dimension.
Wow.
So,
Who was it that was in charge of the whole of the Bhumandala?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Was it Parikshit Maharaj?
Yeah.
How did he manage to get to that stage?
By practicing devotional service.
Just literally just through service. He was empowered that much.
Yes.
Oh.
That should not be your aspiration. We should aspire to go back to God.
I was just shocked because I was under the assumption that it was obviously just the world itself, but to have Bhumandala as well, that's quite a big achievement as well.
Yeah. That is what we learned from text 12. Even Priyavrat Maharaj, these emperors, Priyavrat Maharaj also, he was moving his chariot and he was giving light in the places where darkness was there.
Who was?
Priyavrat,
Priyavat.
yeah, son of Shambhu Manu.
Swayambhanu.
Swayambhu.
Dhruv Maharaj answer.
Oh.
He's very interested. Yes.
What is Varsha in Sanskrit?
Okay, what is Varsa called in Sanskrit? I just forgot. But
they,
this-
they are talking about 9 Varsha.
Yes.
This is like those connection to the subtle world of the Bhusmarga.
In Bhumandal Pit only we have divisions,
Yeah.
and in Jambudvip there are 9 Varsas. So we belong to Bharat Varsa,
Yeah.
the southernmost.
So it's a division.
It's a division. It's a division of this Jambudvip, the middle island.
This planisphere.
Yes, yes. So I don't want to go on fifth kind. I'll just give it very briefly.
No,
So picture.
Hmm?
Picture.
I can just make it very quickly.
for me, this is the most difficult part of the Bhagavatam.
Actually, mostly Pavaneshwar who is going to take a fifth canto, as far as I have come to know. I did come to know. So he has gone through this book called Bhugol Nirnay. Yeah. Bhugol Nirnay. In Bhugol Nirnay, these details are given. Bhugol Nirnay is a book written by one of the Madhva Sampradaya Acharyas, and he is going to be next Vayu. He is going to be next Vayu. So he is doing his what we call apprenticeship with the current Vayu, and because Vayu is all pervading, so he is also like he knows about nook and corner of the entire world, and that is why he wrote all these details in this book.
Sanskrit.
He wrote in Sanskrit, but English version is also available. If you go to look, you can get the English book also.
So it's available in English.
Yeah, it is available in English.
Do you have the name?
Bhugol Nirnay.
Which one? This is the
Bhuval?
Bhugol.
Bhugol. BHUGOL.
Oh, Google means geography, na?
Yeah, geography.
Oh,
Bhuval what?
That's why in Tamil called Bhugol.
Near.
They call
I
Bhugol.
searched it, I did not
Near
find it.
name. Or near name.
I am not finding it.
I have seen the book. It's like I got printed book as well. I have not seen soft copy.
he wrote that Bhagavata Cosmology book, Saint Pavaneshwar.
So I had this name from him only, and later on I found, as far as I remember, this is the name of the book. It may be a little bit here and there, words may be here and there a little bit, but as far as I remember, it was there. But then I found this book with one of our devotees. So he bought it, but he never read it. He bought it from Udupi. Anyway, I'll just quickly make it.
Thank you. I cannot find it.
So these are like islands are there, different islands. So these are islands.
Yeah, Dvipa. 7
These are
Dvipa.
Dvipas are there. So this center one is called Jambudvip. And these are oceans. So these are saltwater ocean. Sugarcane juice ocean.
That's invisible.
It's not invisible, it is invisible to us.
Yes, yeah.
Sugarcane water.
Otherwise I would not say.
Sugarcane juice.
Otherwise, material because wind, not in by chili.
Go take it and sell it.
Something like. So these verses are different verses are there.
So when we look at the space in the dark and so on, in fact, there is a reality beyond our eyes in those empty darkness.
Actually-
don't access it.
What he spoke to me, what he gave a logic, I can speak from him.
Jambu Deep is belong to Jambuan, is it?
This one is Jambudvip, bro.
Jambuan.
And this is
The Brahma create this for especially for the Jambuan because it's the first creation of the Brahma.
Brahma.
The
Jambuan.
Yeah.
Jambuan.
And this is 11th verse here. 11th verse.
So Jambudvip is
And
the
this is
first
our
creation.
this is our Bharat verse. Southernmost. This is Kimpur's verse.
Yes, masters.
Jambu Deep is the first and the earth. Earth also they say Brahma didn't get create without his knowledge. The Jambu Deep create for him first, then he will create Jambu. That's why the Jambuan coming for the Rama pastime.
Okay.
He know everything, future.
Jambavan?
No, Varsha means what?
Yep.
So finally, island.
No, it's not island. Island is Dweep.
So masters.
Varsa you can say is like a division of the island.
Can you show what is the Varsha on this?
These are the Varsa. Like this is Bharat Varsa.
Okay. Oh, I
This
see.
is Kimpur's Varsa. This is 11th versa.
What do you mean by verse?
Then there's Ketumal versa. They are division within the land.
Oh.
Okay, that's to situate
Yes, yes.
better.
See, actually, they are divided by the mountains. These are mountain ranges.
They are divided by what?
Mountain ranges.
Oh,
So Himalayas is this mountain range.
the Himalayas are the visible one.
Yes.
The others are not visible.
Yes. So this Himalayas divide Bharat versa and Kimpur's versa.
Apparently, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said that there's a mountain which goes into the heavenly planets on this planet, and he's seen it and he's been there, but he goes, not many other people have seen it. Is that true?
Prabhupada spoke something like that. Prabhupada was saying that there is some mountain, but how many of you can see that? When he went to some place. This is something which I heard.
Yes.
But was he referring to
Mount Meru.
Mount Meru or what? Doesn't look like Mount Meru because Mount Meru is
In the middle.
in the middle. It is here. It's quite far away beyond the Himalayas.
But this is part of Mount Meru, isn't it? And it goes all the way to the top.
Yes, yes. It goes up to, like it goes below and it goes above also.
So not only there is a spiritual, for example, in Mayapur there is a spiritual reality beyond our eyes, but there is also
Metal
some
reality.
subtle reality beyond our eyes. There is multiple dimensions that are superposed.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, here also, Earth is, as far as he spoke and he learned from this, Earth is kept like a golf ball above Bharatvarsa.
But the earth is right on the end on the right.
Earth is like a golf ball above this point. And that the point which connects Earth to this Bhumandal plane is South Pole.
South Pole.
Yes.
Okay.
It's solar pole.
South Pole, South Pole.
Antarctica.
We have North Pole and South Pole.
Antarctica.
Antarctica.
And according to him, what he was saying is that is the reason why no planes can cross over South Pole.
No planes.
Yes.
But North Pole.
North Pole, all planes can go.
Yeah.
But no plane can go over South Pole.
Why?
Because it's connected to Bhumandal from there.
Oh.
That goes to the.
So if you will go there, then you will jump into this
Yeah.
other dimension. That
Yes,
is-
yes. So that's why there are some stories of, I don't remember the name now. The person who goes to the place where not lot of big people are there, lot of small people there, he goes to South Pole. So there are many stories both in the west and as well as in the east. As well as the east, where they would say that no people who went to South Pole went to some other place, which is a different environment.
Why is it called South Pole? South Pole?
Yes, it is called South Pole in modern language.
Modern language.
Yeah.
I heard that.
We have North Pole and South Pole.
The astronomer at present age, they consider the Earth like a globe, which have north of the
Jonathan
and south.
But
But
what
you know
pole?
the earth,
Kalima.
it's to the far right hand side.
It's
It's to the far right hand side.
South.
It's in the.
Oh, pole.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And the earth is at tilt, it's not straight, it's like a.
tilted one.
Yeah,
South
so
Pole.
30
Okay, okay, okay. Now I understand.
And it is also called pear shaped. It is not round.
Oh, at this pier.
Pier.